And I'd like to call this meeting to order. Longhorn Region Source Protection Authority meeting this Wednesday, April the 6th, 2022. Are there any additional agenda items? Sorry. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. It will be posted to our YouTube channel at a later date. Are there any additional agenda items? Hearing none, we'll proceed. Are there any disclosures of conflict of interest? Seeing none, then I would like to have an approval of the minutes, which were held. The meeting was held Long Point Region Source Protection Authority meeting, April 7, 2021. And I have a motion that the minutes of the Long Point Region Source Protection Authority held April 7th, 2021 be adopted as circulated. Peter moves it. David seconds it. Is there any discussion? Were there any omissions or corrections required? Seeing none, those in favor? Are there any opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. There is no business arising. The correspondence is number 6, Lake Erie Region Source Protection Committee, Annual Progress Reporting. Attachments referred to in this correspondence are included with this report at agenda item 7A. That's page 4 through 5. Is everyone taking a look at that? So then I have another motion in front of me that the correspondence outlined in the Source Protection Authority agenda of April 6, 2022 be received as information. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Tom and Mike. Those in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. So then we come down to agenda item 7A, the submission of the 2021 Longhorn Region Annual Progress Report and supplemental form. And that's going to be presented by
Martin Keller.
Martin Keller, which we've heard your voice already. Can I turn this over to you, Martin? It's virtual, or no, soon, no?
Zoom, yes.
Soon. You there,
Very
Martin?
good. Yes, I can hear. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm here in front of you to present to you the annual progress report for 2021. The report contains 2 appendices. The first one is a short 6-page public-facing document that will be posted online once finalized, once submitted. And then there's a more substantial document attached in Appendix B. It's called the Supplemental Form, 25 pages of the ministry required reporting and answers that were presented or put together by staff. This is required by the regulation, and we need to submit the report by May the 1st. The regulation also requires us to present this annual progress report to the committee. That has happened on March 31st, and we need to submit in the report the justification of the committee's opinion on the progress that has been rated in this progress report. So, as you may have seen when reading through it, the achievements of the Source Protection Plan objective is what we need to rate. And we have a number of different options available this time around, and I will explain in short order. And the progress has been rated as progressing well, but short of target. That is a little different from what we typically can report on, which is progressing well on target. And I can explain the recommendations that we put forward as making that slight adjustment to call it a progressing well, but short of target. The main reason for this change is because of the COVID pandemic, in that two other items that we need to report on, septic inspections, as well as risk management plan development, have been significantly impacted by the public health restrictions that have been in place for most of the 2 years because of the pandemic. As you will know, that both of those activities require person-to-person contact, site visits, and obviously some of those activities were not able to be conducted as was expected earlier on. Hence, in terms of the actual progress made, there were less septic systems inspected and less risk management plans developed. I should say that there were a couple of other items that also kind of contributed to the rating as well. We had a plan update, so there was essentially the milestones or the target has shifted through a plan update. There were more drinking water threats that needed to be inspected, as well as there was a slight error that we received through some of the numbers from Norfolk County. That was a result of a misinterpretation of one of the questions, but that has been corrected since. I should also note that all other aspects of progress reporting are moving ahead very well. That is, for example, that most of, I think it's 99% of all the legally binding policies are either in process or implemented, which is very good, as well as, for example, official plan updates. That is also on target and progressing well. So in summary, we do have a slight tweak in terms of the progress reporting for this year. Progressing well, but short of target because of what I mentioned in terms of pandemic-related impacts. It is the role now of the Source Protection Authority, this board, to consider that rating, consider the progress, and then it would be the role to submit the progress report to the ministry by May the 1st. If there's any questions specifically to the report, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Martin, for your report. Are there any board members that have a question for Martin? Mike, go ahead.
Martin, you mentioned that we are short of target of progressing well. What about other jurisdictions in the province? Are they realize the same experience that our situation is in?
Thank you for the question to you, Mr. Chair. We've actually adopted this tweak in rating from other source protection regions. One of the bigger ones, the Central Lake Ontario, Toronto, and Credit Valley, CTC in short, they have adopted the same kind of progressing well, short on target. So certainly we're not the only ones in the province that are experiencing this kind of being short of targets because of the pandemic.
Are there any other questions for Martin from the board members that you would like answered? Seeing none, then we'll proceed. And I have a motion that the Long Point Region Source Protection Authority is satisfied that the 2021 Long Point Region Annual Progress Report and Supplemental Form meets the requirements of S.46 of the Clean Water Act 2006 and any director's instructions established under Interior Regulation 287/07 S.52, and that Lake Erie Region staff be directed to submit the 2021 Long Point Region Annual Progress Report and supplemental form to the Director of Conservation and Source Protection, Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, along with any Source Protection Committee comments in accordance with section 46 of the Clean Water Act 2006 and any director's instructions established under Ontario Regulation 287/07, Statute 52. Can I have a mover and second? David? Ian? Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor? Those opposed? That's carried. Thank you very much, Martin, for your presentation.
Very welcome.
So that concludes the business of our source protection meeting. And the next point on the agenda is that we are adjourned. We will adjourn this meeting and then we will continue with our regular Board of Directors meeting at 6:30 p.m. We now stand adjourned.